All
in
right.
order to be successful.
I was watching this interview with Natalie Dawson, the woman behind not one but two nine-figure businesses, and I had to react to it. Because what she says is exactly what 99% of people don't want to hear, but absolutely need if they want to succeed. Let's get into it.
And it allowed me to go from being in a room where I couldn't have a conversation with people and crippled with anxiety and fear to co-founding two nine-figure businesses, helping over 15,000 business owners scale their organizations, as well as helping people unpack the strategies that the top 1% of people use to gain wealth and success that are different than 99% of people who can't create the wealth that they've always wanted. Like, they prioritize being respected over being liked.
And where else do people go wrong here?
Well, ultimately, this comes down to the character of the person. If the person isn't somebody who wants to win, who doesn't sacrifice, you cannot get to where you want to go. Now, of course, you could try to hack success, but if you did it by putting in the effort, you don't have this anxiety that it's all going to come crashing down because you know that you could redo it. And it's never burnout inducing. That's a misconception about hard work. You're not a candle. You can't burn out.
What about passive income? Because the idea that you can make income and do cool is unbelievably compelling.
Well, before you have $1 million, don't even think about passive income. Instead, use your calendar as a representation of what you find to be important with the goals that you have every single day.
But if someone at home isn't quite clear on their goals, what should they be doing?
I have a 3-step methodology for goal setting that I have rolled out to thousands of people, and it's called PPF, and it's transformed my life. So the first is,
I see messages all the time in the comment section that some of you didn't realize you didn't subscribe. So if you could do me a favor and double check if you're a subscriber to this channel, that would be tremendously appreciated. It's the free thing that anybody that watches the show frequently can do to help us here to keep everything going in this show in the trajectory it's on. So please do double check if you subscribed, and thank you so much, because in a strange way you're part of our history and you're on this journey with us, and I appreciate you for that. So yeah, thank you. Natalie, for my viewers that have just clicked on this conversation, what is the reason that you think it's important for them to stay and listen to what we're going to talk about today and all of the things that you've spent your career understanding?
if you are somebody who has really struggled with working hard and putting in the effort and the energy, but you don't actually have wealth to show for it, this conversation is important, because wealth should come from hard work on the right set of problems. And so you have to ask yourself the question, what problems do I work on every single day? And whether you're a team member in an organization, whether you're a leader in an organization, a business owner in an organization, you should be able to objectively point at, my work here generated this result. And so if I'm upset with this result, meaning I haven't made the wealth, I haven't created the income that I want, it would make sense that where you're spending your time and the problems that you're solving are not tied to your actual goal of increasing your wealth. And when it comes to wealth, I do think that we are in a wealth crisis across the globe. I think that there is so much confusion and misunderstanding about financial literacy and what's actually happening with who is making money, how they're making money, what they're spending their time on. And so this conversation, I'm very much looking forward to unpacking what are the strategies that people use, the 1%, for their time, for their investments, for their skills, for their mindset, that are just different than 99% of people who can't seem to get ahead and create the wealth that they've always wanted.
And so as you sit here now, what is your business? What's the scale of the business? And what does it do?
Yeah, over the last 6 years, I co-founded 2 businesses that are both 9 figures today. One is a management consulting investment firm. It's called Cardone Ventures, and we help small business owners grow and scale their organizations. So I work with business owners on a daily basis who will be doing $3 million in annual revenue. They want to know, how do I become one of the fewer that is able to have a $5 million a year business or a $10 million a year business, because they really realize that $3 million a year doesn't actually create financial security. And that business was started in 2019. And then our second business, 10X Health, we purchased a health business back in 2023. And today is helping people all over the world. And it's a 9-figure business.
So you're on that first business. How many business owners have you worked with?
Total business owners that have come through our programs would be over 15,000.
What are the range of things you're helping them with?
Great question. So there's education,
Yeah.
there's consulting, there's services, and there's investing. So think of us like the McKinsey for small businesses. We reverse engineer their current market, what they're doing, what their products, services, offerings are, and we give back to them either in the form of actual services where we will do their marketing for them. We will recruit people for them. We will do their bookkeeping for them. But then we also have a massive events component of our business where we train business owners on how to hire, how to recruit themselves so they don't need to hire us to do it. I actually prefer it when people don't hire us to do this because I think it's so important for business owners and the leaders inside those teams to actually get the competence in that skill. So if you use, of hiring or their books, if business owners don't understand how to read a P&L and the importance of a balance sheet, they're always going to abdicate that work to somebody else. And at some point, that is not going to work for them any longer because I don't actually know what that skill is. So I'm trusting that Stephen can come into my business. Stephen seems great. I know him from church. I'm just going to let Stephen do this. But I don't know that Stephen only knows how to do this to a $3 million business. And I need it to be a $10 million business. There's no education system that exists for business owners to help them identify that today.
So it was in 2019 you started this business. Mm-hmm. So if I jumped back to 2019, what is the difference, the fundamental difference in the principles of how to be successful in business that you know now that you wouldn't have known then? What are the glaring principles? I often think that the further you go down any path, mm-hmm. it becomes more and more clear what the fundamental rules of the game are. And at the very beginning, those are just hypotheses. Mm-hmm. So what are the fundamental things you've learned about what differentiates those 15,000 people that you've interfaced with that are business owners, and makes some of them successful and the others unsuccessful?
I ultimately think that this comes down to the character of the person that is doing the business. Because if you look at people that you can partner with in business.
So yeah, this interview isn't just business talk. It's a reminder. You can become a completely different person if you stop playing small. If you want me to react to another part of Natalie's interview, drop a comment. And remember, start today, even small. That's how wealth really begins. Everybody keeps asking, how do I make more money in 2026? But the real question is, why are so many Americans working harder than ever and still falling behind? Today, I'm going to break down the new rules of earning money based on real economics, real psychology, and real opportunities that exist right now in the United States. If you understand these rules, the next 5 years will be the biggest opportunity of your life. Why most people are losing the US is going through the biggest transformation since the Industrial Revolution. Inflation is high, housing is out of reach for most people, and AI is replacing jobs faster than universities can update their textbooks. But here's the secret. This isn't a crisis. It's a shift. And if you understand the shift, you can get ahead of 95% of people. Today, I'll show you the 3 ways Americans will build wealth from 2026 to 2030, according to economists, billionaires, and researchers like Morgan Housel, Robert Kiyosaki, and Ray Dalio. The psychological trap keeping Americans broke. Morgan Housel said, "Wealth is what you don't see." That means not the car, not the shoes, not the apartment, not the lifestyle. Instagram wants you to copy. Americans are drowning in credit card debt, buy now, pay later, emotional spending, lifestyle, inflation, subscription traps, a culture of, I need it now. But here's the truth nobody likes to hear. You don't get rich by working more. You get rich by reducing your financial pressure, so you can take bigger opportunities. Wealth starts with margin, space to think, breathe, and invest. And here's the statistic. The average American with $400 in savings will never start a business, invest, or take a risk, because their daily life is a financial emergency. So if you want more money, The first step is not earning more. It's building a buffer so your brain stops operating in survival mode. Because survival mode kills opportunity. Why some will rise and others will fall. Economist Tyler Cowen calls it the Great Bifurcation. AI won't destroy jobs equally. It will destroy tasks, not roles. And the people who survive are those who know how to use AI-built systems, not ours. Combine creativity plus technology. Sell something. Even small understand leverage. Here's a fact. One AI tool makes you as productive as 4 to 7 regular workers. This is why companies aren't hiring. They're automating. But here's the opportunity. Tools like Claude, 11 Labs, Agentforce 360, Zapier AI, Runway, Midjourney, and OmniScript let you build online businesses, automate freelancing, create content at scale, launch no-code apps, sell digital products, run one-person companies. The highest-earning Americans in 2026 to 2030 won't be smartest. They'll be the ones who adapt fastest. The winners won't be replaced by AI. They will replace others by using AI. After analyzing 2,000 American self-made millionaires, economists found 3 common paths. Path 1, entrepreneurship, digital plus AI era. You don't need an office, employees, or capital. You need a skill and an audience. Examples anyone can start. AI automation agency, content production. Agency, UGC content. Online coaching. TikTok, faceless channels. SEO micro-niche websites, Shopify plus AI tools. App building with no-code, AI. This path uses leverage. Your time times, technology times, distribution. Path 2. Investment. Small but consistent. US studies show people who invest $150 to $300 per month in index funds for 10 years end up in the top 15% of wealth. Not because of talent, because of compounding. The rich don't save money. They deploy money. Path 3. Skill stacking. The real cheat code. Every high-income American has stacked skills. Example. Stack, AI writing video editing. Sales automation, personal branding. Psychology storytelling. The more skills you stack, the more rare you become. Rarity equals money. The real problem, most people won't start. People think their problem is money. But the real problem is fear. Fear of failing. Fear of looking stupid. Fear of wasting time. Fear of starting too late. But here's the truth. You are already losing time. Not starting. The world changed. The economy changed. Opportunity changed. Your strategy must change too. The old American dream is gone. But a new one is rising. Digital, global, AI-powered. And if you apply these new rules of money, not only will you survive this economic shift, you will thrive in it. If you want more videos like this, real economics, real psychology, real money strategies, subscribe to Daily Dose of Money, and I'll show you the roadmap to financial freedom.